My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. It is day 51, episode 51. All right, one day closer to 100. It's getting there. Okay, so today I want to talk about list building. Ta-da! Yeah, list building, and I'm a little ashamed. I'll admit that I'm only just now getting to this aspect of online marketing. Because it should be foundational, and that's why I want to share it with you guys, because I want you guys to really get this under your skin, like really pay attention to how important this is, because well, for a lot of reasons, right? So to pre-frame the conversation, I got to this point mentally because of months and months of doing social media, creating content, posting on social media, being consistent, and then obviously for the purpose and intention of growing my audience and then therefore my influence, but also, how does that translate then to actual sales in my network marketing business? Now, I tried to post, like I have and will continue to post content that involves my products and my company, Yoli, right? With health products, it's a pretty easy thing to share with people. But however, it felt ineffective. Right. I know I'm still pretty early into the game in social media and building my influence, etc. But even here on the show, if I were to promote something, I've promoted Yoli products, my network marketing business products on my other show, Path of the Jedi, which has a lot more followers and listeners. And still really haven't seen much direct results come out of that. Right. Like no sales. I feel like, I'm doing all this work, learning how to use social media and grow my influence, but to what end, right? To what end? And so, I finally realized, the missing piece was I wasn't building a list, right? I wasn't building a list. And so, this is an important aspect because now it's more directed. It's your audience. Well, you're not just putting your message out there into the universe and putting your company, your products in a piece of content with the hopes, right? And that's it, with the hopes of people making a purchase. Now you're actually cultivating a relationship, and an even more curated relationship, and a more supportive relationship with your audience by growing your list. You can communicate with that list. You can serve that list regularly, and it'll feel more personal to them. And so again, that influence quotient actually is much higher with your own list. On top of that, you don't own anything on the social platforms. None of that is yours, right? So the algorithm can change at the drop of a dime. We've talked about that before in the past. Your followers are not your followers. They are users of whatever platform that happens to be, that Instagram, TikTok. They're not yours. Sure, you have an influence on them, and if you're one of those like mega personalities, you'll have a lot of influence, and that's why Kim Kardashian makes billions of dollars, and that's why guys like Barstools, right? Like Barstools, they just got bought out by a media company, I think, recently. But Mr. Beast or Beats or Bees or whatever his name is on YouTube, right? Like so. There's definitely that aspect of it. And they can leverage that. They can leverage that influence. But until then, for us, unless you're in the like 100,000s or more, it's just gonna be sporadic, just sharing your network marketing company, services and products, right? Like, cause I mean, you'll get lost in a sea of other noise that's on those feeds. And again, you don't own any of it, right? You don't own your audience. You don't own your followers. So with building a list, that's something that you can control. You want autonomy over your business. You want autonomy over your list. You want autonomy over your audience, because that gives you autonomy over your income, right? And that's why it's so important. And so I've just started recently. For those of you guys who registered and got the free course on how to start your own podcast that I launched yesterday. Thank you and congratulations. That was my first foray into building a list, right? Building a list, and now that you're on my list, you feel expect to be continually served and helped and provided with good content and whatever other ways I can serve you, right? And so it's really an important aspect that I encourage you guys, especially network marketers, right? Like we're always like, we think of things in terms of sell my products, sell my services, sell my company and my opportunity. And there's so many more steps to that than just posting it on a piece of content on social media, right? Like there's so many more steps that people have to see and go through, especially with their relationship with you, because you're not a big name brand. You're Joe Schmo or Ronnie Cruz. Yeah. Like, you know, there's only like people really have to get to know you. And they can do that with your list. And in the meantime, as you're doing this, as you're posting content, as you're creating shows on the podcast, you'll continue to grow your list. You'll continue to grow your influence. Your audience will grow and grow and grow. And it all kind of works in tandem. But again, the list is a really, really important part, because that's the one thing that you control and that you have autonomy with. So I encourage you to go check out Jenna's podcast, first of all. I mean, that's where I from her show, Gold Diggers, that's where I found, that's where I was turned on to content is king, or no, content is profit. So it's nice to be able to kind of bounce and find new shows as a result of listening to shows. But go to Gold Digger, which is a podcast with Jenna Kutcher. Go to episode 588. And if you're ready to start learning how to build your own email list, her website is listbuildchallenge.com. I'll put all this stuff in the show notes for you so you guys can check it out. But again, it's listbuildchallenge.com. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get any money for promoting her. I just think it's a fantastic resource. It's been super, super simple to follow. And again, for me, guys, I'm not a technophobe, but I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to technology. So she makes that entire process of making your first list, getting into the foray of making a list and growing your email list, very, very painless. So again, I encourage you to do this. If you're ready, go to listbuildchallenge.com, listen to episode number 588 on Gold Digger Podcast with Jenna Kutcher. So that's it. That's going to be the episode for today. Thanks for tuning in. More to come from me tomorrow. Until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.